going live. Said we are going live. Got to check that it worked. Because if it didn't, I'm going to feel a bit like a tit. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Hopefully that's all worked. Because I'm trying StreamYard again. If it hasn't, just shout at me. Basically, rule of thumb for any of these is, if I've done something wrong, just scream. I'll learn. We'll get there. Is the stream running? Yes, it is. Fan-dabby-dozy. You alright? How we doing? I'm going to get immediately into the first match, I think. Just because it's a nice adventure. And you might as well start it the way you mean to go on. Also, just as a letting you know kind of thing, I'm now back to StreamYard to see if that works, because although it's 720p, it makes the comments easier to deal with, like this one. You alright, Dave? How are you doing? So the fact that I can now do comments and bring them up and everything, lifesaver. I'll be doing that more if you want to spam them. I will also have to do polls somehow, bouncing across two different platforms, which is fun. But yeah, we'll get started. We will start by dropping Bamford, who went off the tit. Cole Palmer's fit again, except I can't pick Cole Palmer because we've got the squad limit thing. Bugger. Spence. And I'll drop Matson for Fernandez Mikel. So I'm just going to do a very, very quick test of something to see how it works. I will still do exactly what you guys request from this poll, but I sort of need to test it. Yeah, he's fit, so I'll go start. Piroe. Yes, no. Living the trucking dream up your... I'm doing pretty well, Dave. If we're living the dream, then we're living pretty good. I've whacked up a poll now. I'm going to see if it's something that I am able to deal with also in StreamYard, in addition to dealing with it like normally. Because I've never combined the two in a stream before. So ideally, the YouTube Live Studio can deal with it. If it can't, that's completely fine. And it's not popping up in StreamYard, which is a very fun adventure. So for now, I think we leave it. I think we leave the squad as is, so you guys can't overturn the fact that I want to murder Piroe after missing like 7 XG in the last 2 matches. Gray and Padu is fine. Strike Rodon at the back. Fernandez and Spence. I like that with Melier and net. On the wings, James and Nonto. James has retained his place after last match. That was obscene what he did. Not on. Unacceptably good. I'm tempted to start Somerville. Yeah. I was tempted, and I'm going to fall into those temptations, actually. In you pop, and I'll have wingers on both sides. Cost, tiki-taka. Let's go. Let's see how we do. Nonto, Rodon, Larson, and Archie Gray are all various levels of pissed off with me for that. Presumably for not starting Nonto, but James has been good. So he gets to play. Also, my deepest apologies. I'm partway through some pork scratchings. So you might at points hear those having a little bit of a crunch. Let's dive headfirst into it. Leeds versus Swansea. Oscar Wilhelmsen taking over from Pat Bamford last match, who had a not very good match and then injured himself, which is fine. Piroe's missed a penalty in the last few days. It's not been good for the strikers. But we hope that today's the day that that changes. Return to Rodon. I'm liking the way that we're just going to hold the ball for a while. Retur's dropping in quite a lot, so it's more of a 4-4-1-1. Norton launches it to... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one. Charlie Patino has a nice little dribble, but is ruined by Dan James. who sends Somerville on his way. Now Spence back to Somerville. Very nice ball. Puts it in for Rutte. Can't beat Rushworth. For some reason, I think his name's Gareth. But I know I'm thinking of Gareth Ainsworth instead, which makes it very tricky. Greater Spence, who finds Somerville. Let's play clever, nice, fun football for once. Let's not completely fuck it. Rodon, Somerville. Let's find a nice ball. That'll do. That'll do. That's a miss. But it's a start. It's a very, very good start. And I do not mind that one little bit. Right, okay. Right, Jed, come on. That might have been offside. It wasn't. Oscar? Oscar? Oh, he's so good at doing that in the 21s, but he can't do it for the seniors. What do you think about Brendan Aronson? Should he return? That is a very, very hard one to answer. It's hard to say. Union Berlin have... Oh, good effort. Union Berlin have lost something like 12 in a row, which is embarrassing, to be honest, considering it was a club that got Champions League football last season, and they got Brendan Aronson to bolster their ranks. It feels like if he's not good enough to play for Union Berlin, I'd be absolutely terrified about him playing for Leeds, because the Premier League is a tougher league than the Bundesliga. The average side is better. Although, like, the peak of the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich is equivalent to Man City. The lower sides in that division are probably upper to mid-table championship. I don't see Aronson being good on his return, as mean as that sounds. Taking him back makes sense, but primarily to sell him, I think. That's what I'm planning on doing in this save. I think in December I will just take Aronson off loan and sell him off, hoping someone has £20 million to spend on a winger that's probably not good enough. Dan James. Very, very nice. The Orange Raiders suggestions from last stream paying off with Dan James repeatedly playing football for me. Nice assist from Rutter too. Yeah, I think my general idea on almost all of the players that left on loan is you didn't want to be here when things were bad. Why should we let you back in when things are good? Oh, Georgie. Like, Rutter's the perfect example. He's someone that saw that things were going a bit downhill, and fair enough, they were. We weren't looking too good, but he understood that he was part of that. Come on, Fernando, let's make it 3. Oh, guess we're not just embarrassing them today. Yeah, Rutter seemed to recognise that he was a part of the big problem that we were having, and has come, well, not come back, but stayed and massively turned it around. I agree with you, but maybe you can show where you signed. I get where you're coming from. I do understand that point. The point of there's clearly a footballer in there, we just need him to come out. Issue is, it's not coming out in the Bundesliga and he's not even getting minutes. So it's a hard one. If he showed why we signed him for that much money, sure, great. But with the way that the current board is spending its money, like, really, what the hell sort of name is that? Shoayon? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, with the way the board's currently spending its money, which is fairly intelligently looking for bargains and players that suit the system, it feels like there's better alternatives than Aronson for however much we're able to sell him for. I'll bring Nonto on. He was meant to play in the first place, but I decided not to. Because James has a wee bit of an injury. Fernandez whipping it in. Near post to Strout. Rodon, can he finish? Nope. How about Rutter? Gives it out to Fernandez. Rutter. Fantastic. That's 11 this season already for Rutter, who is, I think, my best signing. And no, I don't even think he's my best signing. I know he's my best signing. Well, he's not my signing, but the best player in this save. 2 goals and an assist in a 3-0 win is not something to sniff at. And then I'm going to have to make some subs just to keep everyone nice and fit because we're coming into that scary December period. Wilhelmsen. Oh, header onto the bar. Right idea, though. Fernandez, let's have a go. Rutter to Gray. Have a dig. Come on. Gray's been one of the really fun players this season as well. Because he's just performing fairly consistently to a good standard. So him scoring more would be spectacular. Shit me, that's a hard scratching. Rutter to Wilhelmsen. Come on. I was convinced that was another assist for him. How has he not put that chance away? This isn't as bad as yesterday yet. But we could get there if we keep being bad. Oh my god. Right. Oscar Matey. Why is Rutter gotten worse? Okay, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Oscar, bud, pal, friend. Come on. Get your shit together. Archie isn't having the best of matches, so I'll bring Sarah on instead. And, excuse me, Melier hampered by injury? Melier's not injured, is he? I hope he's not injured. Ampadu's just gotten booked, which is not what we need. But Melier deals with that stuff quite easily. And it's just inserted some ads for me without giving me the option. Okay. Right, Rutter. That was a good idea for a through ball, but it didn't quite pay off. Patterson, come on. Let's just kick him. Just kick him. I don't want to lose even more points to crap decision making on the pitch that I've got nothing to do with. Right. Ilan, come on. Let's get this right. Let's not lose the ball here. If we can make it 4-1, I can maybe be comfy. Right, Willie makes a nice run down the left. Is he going to square it or shoot? He's going to shoot directly at Rushworth. However, we've won a corner. We've got Roden and Stroke on, who are experts at scoring these corners. Near post. Doesn't make it. I'm going to need to sign a dedicated corner taker, I think. Yates is dealt with by Rodon. Ampadu. I'm going to sub Ampadu, I think, just to make sure he doesn't get sent off. Because if we're going to keep holding possession in these quite dangerous areas, I don't want to risk anything. Ethan. Hello, mate. Sorry, but Cole Palmer's coming on for you. I know, it shocks me as well. And then Spencer's been okay enough, so I will take off Stroke for Coops. And desperately hope that it works. But it should do. We don't have too long to hold on. We've managed to keep all the important players uninjured for now. I'm not going to curse anything again. Far post to Palmer. Doesn't quite pay off, but Somerville picks it up instead. Have a dig. Come on. Sarr. Wide to Fernandez. Sarr again. Directly into Rushworth's hands. It's getting annoying, this Rushworth's hands thing. Eventually I'll get those words right. Somerville to Cooper. Cooper has a dig. Okay. Do not mind that in the slightest. Let's cause them some problems. I keep not clicking the attacking set pieces thing in time. Right, Willie, have a shot. That might have been off. It was off. Why is he floating that high? Somerville to Piroe. Come on. All you've got to do, Joel, is earn your place in the team over a 20-year-old that has scored one senior goal. This should not be. Is it happening again? Is it happening again? I'm also going to rejig the layout. Do that. Do that. That'll do. Update the layout. That will do. Right, come on. Last moments. Please don't lose. You've got one simple job. Okay, 3-2. 3-2 against 22nd in the division. With Piroe being distinctly unimpressive. We didn't have any huge stinkers, though, aside from that. Rotera is absolutely carrying me right now. That is true. Good job. I'm just going to say good job. Because I know that every single time I say good job, but you were shit in the second half, they go, no, we weren't. And then we have arguments in the dressing room, and I lose the dressing room. And things get a lot more difficult. I wonder if there's any other Leedsy news that I've missed recently, because I saw those Aronson comments, and I was like, how have you gotten injured catching a ball? You're a goalkeeper. I'm going to praise Rotera for his performance. But yeah, the Aronson thing is one of those times where I don't know whether I take it as huge news or weird little side comments. Because, like, I don't know. Interviews are always, like, dragged out of context, so it's quite hard to make a proper judgment sometimes. At the start of last season, I really liked Aronson, though. I thought he was doing quite well with all his obscenely high pressing. Stealing the ball off Mendy's toes was absolutely class. But then he didn't keep doing it, which I think was a little bit of a problem. Ricardo Pepi has been chucked out on the transfer list, which is an interesting one. He's not awful. So if I compare him to Piroe, he's better in the air and he's faster, but he's worse at basically everything else except defending. Maybe I sign him as a centre back. maybe that's the goal. But he's not been very good for PSV. Asking to leave, 5.5 million. I don't have 5.5 million, but it's not a real problem, is it? Middlesbrough team selection advice is a completely changed side, presumably because we've got lots of injuries. Leeds are favourites for the Borough Clash. I will take that. Also, just to check, how are we doing on quality of the stream? Just because it's the first time I've StreamYarded in a while, and I know I'm limited to 720p, but if it's like a nice consistent 720, then I'll stick with it. Rotera is one of the best forwards in the championship. I am shocked for one. Cannot believe it. Best attacking team is us. It won't be the best defensive team, though. We will have some issues there. Very, very busy December. 7 matches, which is more than ideal, I think. Archie Gray's mentoring group is screwing him over. Is it training that you might find mentor groups? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take Gray out of this group and put him in the other one, maybe. Because I've got a bunch of professionals and determined people in here, which will definitely help with getting people in the right direction, fixing attitudes, making everything more good. Fatty claims Young Player of the Month. That is completely unsurprising. Well, he's only scored twice. Liam Delap is November's Young Player of the Month. Scalvini is the Under-19 Player of the Month. It's been a long day. And Nico Williams is the November Player of the Month there. I think I've worked out the issue, by the way. I think because they're all technically on a short list, it thinks that I want all of the updates about all of them all the time, and I do not. What a fucking day! Parag, you absolute boy. What a man. Oh, we love Parag. I've decided I don't care what he does in the real world. He's given me 24 million quid to play with, so we love Parag. Well done. Yep. Sam Byram. Oh, I'm disappointed with the odd training. Please do better. Now we've got some decisions to make. I don't know what to do with them. That's so much money. Under recruitment meeting, just tell me who I'm signing. Go for it, sure. Melier is still, for some reason, unhappy, which is fantastic. Oh, maybe we can sign Sarah from Norwich. We've got the money now. We've also got several players with not much time on their contracts, which means we've got big decisions to make. I don't think Ayling's going to play much anymore. Ayling is dropping out of the squad a little bit. Cooper depends on how much people want to bid. Cock's gone. That's happened. It's fine. I wonder if I can just release him. Sorry, back to the meeting. Shax's probably not good enough and he's not getting enough minutes. But very promising signs that we have a bucket full of money now that we can just throw at whoever we want. Clarkson, probably gone. You're probably gone. We just got to work out who to. Apparently, we're looking weak at left back, which kind of Matson isn't the best. We've been playing with Fernandez Macau there, but yeah. I'll have a look at left back. If there's any good left backs hovering around, we will dive all over them. Stuart Dallas has completed the rehab phase of his treatment plan. He's alive. Stewie Dallas is alive, and he can play at left back. That could solve a problem for me. I don't know if I registered Dallas. If I didn't, that's a problem. I've got so many decisions to make. Victor Chust, for example, 3 million quid, is a decent centre back, and he's only 23. Ouattara, reasonable left back, and I've got the money. I've not got the wage budget. God no, do I not have the wage budget? But I've got a dream. We can do something. I'm actually looking at scouted players during the save and thinking, I might actually be able to sign you. It's a miracle. Maybe the wage budget comes from the likes of Coops and Ayling going. if we get desperate. Faris Lund scoring twice. I've got no idea who Faris Lund is, but he's apparently a fake left back. Doesn't even exist in the game. Okay. We shall continue. And desperately hope that we get some decent players scouted for me. Oh, Wrexham are out of the FA Cup. What a shame. Tranmere knocked out Dorking. Are there any big shocks here? Any like non-league sides that just blew someone out of the water? Woking beating Bromley doesn't feel like a surprise now. They're in the same league as each other. Yeah, none of this screams insane result to me, unfortunately. Hartlepool beating Derby is a bit of a surprise. Colchester beating Oldham. No, I don't know too much about the relevant lower leagues to keep track of that, to be honest with you. Drama got 6 minutes for Birmingham. Gelhart did shit all against Hartlepool. Gelhart is starting to scare me a bit. His form is not good enough. In fact, can I warn him before his criticises his loan spell? You're not developing well enough. You won't realise your potential. We could list him. Okay, well, Joffrey hates me, but fuck it. I can still sell him at some point, can't I? Let's quick pick. Let's see what the side looks like. Melier is fit again, which is very nice. Oh, it's Christmas, isn't it? It's rotation time, which is fun. Somerville isn't fully fit, neither Palmer. See, this is where we get struggling a little bit, I think. This is where we got some big choices to make about who we keep in and who we leave out. Ampadu has had a heavy-ass match load, so I'm going to play Cresswell there instead. Retere also heavy match load, but I think he's our only player that can like effectively be that Trequartista for us. Fernandez Macau has been fairly light, but so has Matson, so I'm going to keep Macau on the bench. Yeah. Rodon, I think, fully rested. Do I? I think that 24 million might have to go towards a left back somewhat. Because Matson's not performed well enough, I don't think. Like average rating for all of our loanees 7.28, 7.13, 7.03, 7.06, and then Matson 6.74. I don't think Matson's good enough, to be honest. He might have to go. Probably will have to go, to be completely honest with you. I'll whack Grove on the bench as well, just to make sure we've got a little bit more depth. In place of... Hard choice. Or do I start Grove? Because Sar's not impressed me either. I'll start Grove and Kamara, I think. I don't like how unimpressive so many of our players have been this season, but I don't really have a choice but to get rid of some of them. Like, 2 of the loanees have just let me down again and again and again. Okay. Right, Palmer's not fully fit, so I'll put Rodon in. And Byram in the place of Matson. That'll do. I think that'll do. If it doesn't do, then we are in serious shit. Ayling and Cooper are lacking in match sharpness and may struggle to see out the match. That is not the biggest problem that I've got, to be honest. Let's never press max low for some reason. Show them that the recent praise is justified, and let's win a game of football. Come on. Very, very aggressive formation with the idea of just have the ball. Is the stream running? I'm not convinced that the stream's working. Right, let's open another version. Oh shit. Okay. Interesting. Okay.